Chapter 1: The Breakthrough. Dr. Amelia Thornton stood on the precipice of scientific discovery, her eyes fixed on the elaborate setup of quantum computers that filled the spacious laboratory. The air hummed with anticipation as she prepared to initiate an experiment that could redefine the very laws of the universe. Years of research, sleepless nights, and countless failed attempts had led her to this moment. The culmination of her life's work was encapsulated in a device that promised to unlock the mysteries of quantum computing. The Quantum Nexus, as Amelia had named it, was a complex array of supercooled processors, entangled particles, and a series of interconnected quantum gates. She adjusted her lab coat, her heart pounding with a mixture of excitement and trepidation. Colleagues and fellow scientists observed from behind safety glass, their eyes reflecting a shared sense of anticipation. The success of this experiment could propel humanity into a new era of understanding or, as some skeptics warned, unravel the very fabric of reality. Amelia took a deep breath, her hand hovering over the control panel. She hesitated for a moment, reflecting on the potential consequences of her actions. Theories of parallel universes, alternate realities, and the multiverse flooded her mind. With a resolute determination, she pressed the activation sequence. The Quantum Nexus whirred to life, emitting a soft, ethereal glow. Amelia monitored the quantum fluctuations on her computer screen, each data point a testament to the unprecedented power she had unleashed. As the experiment progressed, a subtle shift in the atmosphere signaled that something extraordinary was happening. Unknown to Amelia, the boundaries between the dimensions began to blur. Reality itself quivered, sending ripples across the tapestry of existence. Outside the laboratory, the laws of physics seemed to waver, creating faint distortions in the air. Observers exchanged uneasy glances as the Quantum Nexus worked its enigmatic magic. Amelia's excitement was palpable as she delved into the intricate details of the experiment. The Quantum Nexus was exceeding expectations, pushing the boundaries of what science had deemed possible. Unbeknownst to her, however, the experiment had initiated a cascade of events that transcended the confines of her laboratory. In the nearby city, pedestrians and motorists alike began to experience strange anomalies. Buildings flickered momentarily, street signs changed their messages, and personal items appeared and disappeared as if governed by an unseen hand. Reality itself seemed to be in flux, and the citizens were unwittingly becoming witnesses to the nascent chaos that Amelia's experiment had unleashed. Back in the laboratory, as the Quantum Nexus reached its zenith, a sudden surge of energy pulsed through the room. Amelia's eyes widened as she beheld the anomaly on her screen, a rift, a fracture in the quantum field that she had never anticipated. The experiment had opened a portal, not just to uncharted quantum states but to parallel universes previously thought to be theoretical constructs. The room quivered with an otherworldly resonance as glimpses of alternate realities flickered before Amelia's eyes. Different versions of herself, her colleagues, and even the laboratory equipment manifested in surreal and transient forms. It was as if the boundaries separating the multiverse had momentarily dissolved, allowing a surreal intermingling of worlds. Amelia's excitement turned to a mix of awe and concern. She hurriedly began shutting down the Quantum Nexus, attempting to regain control over the experiment. But it was too late. The portal, once opened, seemed to defy her attempts at containment. Reality itself seemed to be folding in on itself as if mocking the limitations imposed by scientific understanding. As the laboratory trembled with the aftershocks of the experiment, Amelia's colleagues rushed to her side, their faces reflecting a mixture of fascination and fear. The quantum rift, now stabilized but still visible, pulsed with an enigmatic energy that seemed to beckon from beyond. The world outside the laboratory continued to be affected by the quantum anomalies. Reports of inexplicable events flooded in, objects appearing and disappearing, people encountering alternate versions of themselves, and the very fabric of reality itself becoming malleable. In the midst of the chaos, Amelia felt a weight on her shoulders. The responsibility for what had transpired rested squarely on her. As she gazed at the stabilized rift, a realization dawned upon her. The experiment had not only opened a door to parallel universes but had set in motion a series of events that threatened to cascade into a cataclysmic event across the multiverse. The journey into the unknown had begun, and Amelia Thornton, unwittingly, had become the architect of the Quantum Chronicles.